Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and we are ready to go here in just a moment. Apologies there about the little bit of a delay there. I was just getting some links shared and just getting the actual video out there. It's good to be back. It is excellent to be back. I've been really excited about this. Oh god, there's only so much discussion that we can actually have in the country time film order. It's brilliant to have something new. So hello there, AT. Hello there, Mark. Welcome, my friend. No Name 4, Paul Warner, and Cola. How you guys doing there? Right here. We'll get going in just a moment here. Just, there we go. Enjoy my absolutely awful desktop. Because I do. I enjoy it every day. I figured your flight was delayed. Yeah, something like that. I was streaming for Slavery just a few minutes ago, really. Implementing Infinite's insane pilot program on my personal campaign versus the AI. Yeah, do let me know how it goes, my dude. Sounds pretty good. He does know what he's talking about, which is pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to give it about... We'll give it a little bit longer, let a few more people get in here. We're looking at turn 10 here, then. We'll save 10. Tick-tock goes the clock. Okay, well, we can confirm that THG is in fact a alligator that has swallowed a ticking clock. It all makes sense now. But that's interesting. Tick-tock. I mean, does he... Now, the historical date for the beginning of the Battle of Singapore is not too far off. He may be referring to that. He might be referring to our progress in the Dutch East Indies. It's hard to say sometimes. It's like, I'd love to ask him the meaning behind some of these actual, like, saved names. But then again, I really can't, can I? Because then he could ask me the meaning of mine. I'm like, I can't really tell you that one. Hey, doing that, Dutchy? Okay. We'll get going here then, shall we? He's clearly promoted his personal TikTok account. Ah, oh, Jesus Christ. Ah. That's a dank meme, if I ever saw one. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope you guys are ready. I do have a little bit of a cold at the moment. If I sound a little bit weird, that's why. Right. I always feel the nerves, you know. You know, it's been a while. I always feel those nerves. But here we go, then. 6th of February, 1942. Oh, dear. Okay, so we occupy the base there, which is not too surprising. Night phase. I can feel the nerves. Right. So we are going to be adjusting our patrol patterns over here to the north. And there's a lot to do in this turn. There's a lot to do. Okay, unloading over here to Wennick, which is not too surprising. We'll take the base there, and they can be loaded back on board. And we'll get them moving to where they need to be. Okay. So reactions over here then. Sculpin once again detected. Now Sculpin looks to be pretty much... I don't know, they look to be potentially patrolling, but they look to be in a very static position there, really. No engagement. Trout over here then. Been engaged by the subchaser CHA-21, and she abandons a search there. A Moonlight here is about 6-7%, so it's not too bad actually. Forecast over here is rain in that area. Might be having an impact here at night. Right, okay, let's see. E13A1 Jake reports sighting 4 allied ships at 42121 near Exmouth. Speed 20 moving southwest. Okay, that's rather intriguing there. AT, is it possible to give G-Man the name? Yeah, I know, right. Yeah, no deck gun. I mean, that's the main benefit there of actually having those forces. 9 allied ships there, 42123 near Exmouth. Speed 23 knots, moving northeast, which is rather interesting. That could be the cruisers. 9 ships does make sense. Continue here. 6 allied ships sighted near Kopang. That's very interesting there. 18 knots. Indeed, a target-rich environment for ASW. And it's good. We actually are seeing our crews gain experience, which is very good. We are seeing our air crews gain experience there. And welcome, by the way, there, Andy. And at last, we have the bombardment of Wenkao. How you doing there, Mark? Well, this is it. The speed really does tell you a lot about what could potentially be there. How you doing there, Sergeant Harabia? So indeed, we have our first bombardment here with the 3 heavy cruisers against the Chinese city of Wenkao. So we'll be having these bad boys rearm at Shanghai, and ideally we'll be looking to bombard probably every 2 days, as we could probably manage it. So 185 casualties inflicted there. We do inflict some damage here against the actual base as well, which is good news. So firing out the 100th Chinese Corps, which is the core that we do need to take out there, so that's quite good there. 7 disabled, 1 destroyed, 13 disabled, 1 destroyed, 1 destroyed. Not too bad, 185 casualties, not too bad. We'll keep this up day in, day out, really. As much as humanly possible, we will keep it on. Right, Fuji. Fortunate. We are unloading over here on the island of Celebes. I'm looking to really just trap his Dutch forces. He doesn't look to be retreating, so I'm going to take advantage of that. We're unloading over here at Sarong. Defensive guns, okay. To be honest, didn't expect a garrison, actually, so that could be pretty bad news. Oh, God, I hope it's not anything strong, because that's going to be something of a headache. Yeah, there's definitely some Dutch forces over there. That's not what I was entirely expecting. And we can have forces routed from elsewhere to deal with that. Yeah, indeed, a few engineers to repair the damage. There we go. Unloading over here to Babao. Unloading over here on this side. That's good. I was a little bit worried about moving on this side of the Celebes Island, but looking good so far. We should actually be able to block those Dutch forces off any of the following day, which is going to be very good. And not a Dutch street. No, indeed not. I don't imagine it's going to be a very strong force, so we'll see what it is there. The good news is we don't have to go with a shock attack, and we move into the day phase. Oh, I don't know about you guys, but I can feel my anxiety just radically climb down there. So the night phase was the real danger there. That was potentially when the Mini-Kido Butai could have been potentially intercepted. It was very unlikely, but it could have potentially happened. We did have an eye. Well, we actually had a sighting of the actual light cruisers potentially, so the worst is over for now. Ideally. It will be a very interesting day. I'm hoping that the Mini-Kido Butai will strike out against her hunters, but we'll see there. Her pursuers, I think, is a good word. We'll see. Right, that looks to be a Dutch sub, I do believe. Is it a Dutch sub, or am I getting it wrong? Is it British for the names? I know I ask this every single time, and I will continue to ask this every single time. I'm gonna have to get like a post in the background just saying like, what the hell's the difference? Oh. That's a, that's interesting. That's not what I was expecting there. Destroy Paraconat. A little bit of damage there to I-21. She should be in deep waters over here, so she should be able to escape the worst of it unless there's a little bit of luck there. But that's interesting there. Henley and Parrot. So we did launch 2 torpedoes out of the Henley, which is surprising. Dutch numbers, Royal Navy names. There we go. Thank you very much. But that's intriguing. Reacting over here to the north. Looks like we were able to actually retreat out of the way of surface combat there with the MKB, so that's very good there. Okay, so G401 there, Santa reports 5 allied ships near Makassar. That's interesting. 4 allied ships there near Busuanga. So obviously that's over here to the north. This sub with function torpedoes is the only metric I care about. What's the replenishment status of the Mini-KB? We do have a few sorties. We do not have any torpedoes left, but we do have a decent amount of sorties. Right, the G3s are spotting a lot of allied ships there near Busuanga. Allied tanker? Okay. That's a nice find there. If that is indeed an allied tanker, that could be potentially very nice there. I don't know if they'll be able to fly out today, but they might be able to. If they're flying actual... Right, there we go. That looks to be the light cruisers. 8 allied ships there. We do see an allied light cruiser, allied light bomber. Scheiße, they're potentially close to our BBs there. I think those guys, they have reaction 6. I don't know if I set a reaction on them. I didn't anticipate this. But they might be within range of our G4M1s here. I'm hoping those G4M1s are going to be flying out with the torpedoes, because we could potentially strike lucky here. Right, China... Not seeing too much at the moment. There's a lot moving here. I'm not seeing anything immediately apparent in China at the moment. We should see some Kawang fall here today. Yeah, me too. Okay, we are able to bomb Bataan then. That's very good. We didn't have the bombing strike off last time. I think that was due to the actual weather, really. But you know what? So far, so good. Okay, fair bit of damage there, but we are continuing to bomb, which is good news. Right, approaching Singapore, there's no resistance, thankfully, which is really quite good there. We did have 59 K-27s there, so that's quite good. Hitting the runway, we're doing this just basically to prevent him from building up any additional fortifications, which is quite good. But looking good, looking good. A little bit worried about the fact that we didn't have anything escort them beyond the K-27s, but still we inflict some damage, so that's okay. Right, once again hitting Bataan. Yeah, I know, it's a good number to nades there. Okay, 3 damaged over here. And there's a dojo. It's a little bit late there on the sweep, but okay. Okay. Yeah, they're kind of all over the enemy coordination. Which is understandable, because they are flying out for Kutabaru. Right. Ah, there we go, look at that. So we do have some Catalinas raiding over here, but we do have some K-43-1Bs. Ah, fantastic. Yeah, they might have been actually after the oiler there, so that's very good there. No losses, but we do strike them off there. Okay, so he's sending Blenheims, Hudsons, Warhawks, Buffaloes, H-81s, Hurricanes. That's a big escort there, but at least we actually know what he has here. And he inflicts 8 casualties, but we actually get to see some really important information here. So he's flying very low at 5,000 feet, but the good news is he's flown his actual aircraft here. Which is interesting, so I wonder then, I mean, these are actually fairly low numbers. You see a lot of Blenheims over here, but I mean, that's a fair amount of Buffalo. A fair amount of the Hurricanes there. But the good news is our forces have been more or less resting over here. It looks like he had the PBYs potentially on naval attack. I didn't quite see the mission there. But I'd hesitate to guess at naval attack. Oh, yes! The G4M1s are flying. What do we... Oh, hello, it's the Sumatra! Yes! Oh, we have hold the Sumatra. Oh, that is good news. Ah, it's excellent news. He would not be expecting this one. Come on. Put some more fish in those waters there, baby. One of these cruiser... Oh, cruising bind layers. Very nice. So we can see KBs over here. Oh, that's excellent news then. So the Krakatau, she doesn't get hit, but she's so very closely to our forces. I don't know if they have reaction on. If they had reaction on, they would have been in there. But the good news is, it's a shame because he's going to be aware of us now, but we did hit with Sumatra, so that's excellent, excellent news there. I don't imagine she's gone down yet, but she's not going to be in any... Oh, God, here we go. So we've got 30 B5M1Ks, we've got Exeter. And we take out the torpedo mounts there, so we are hitting the British heavy cruiser Exeter, I do imagine. Multiple bombs hit in here. She came very close to actually being, and potentially... I think she might have been able to actually track us. We did retreat from battle, but this is good. Hitting the Exeter. We have Colombo. Come on, hit the Cape Town. Looking pretty good so far, though. Cornwall, okay, so 2 heavy cruisers here, so quite a dangerous force. Come on. And we hit the Cape Town. Deck armor penetration. B5M1 approaching Cornwall. Wow, okay, so that's 3 heavy cruisers there, so that's a substantially large force there. Definitely not the light cruisers that we expected there. So we do open the engagement up. We do hit the Exeter 3 times. Unfortunately, we do not hit the other cruisers, bar the Cape Town, but that's still not bad there. The good news is we are able to ideally link up with the battleships in the following turn. We do have the benefit of the air cover over here as well. If he chooses to potentially chase us down, he may suffer for this. We do have just the 1 B5M1 Kate over here. But at least we have an idea of what we're seeing here. So yeah, that's the end of that one there. We may have a second strike. Ideally against the heavy cruisers, but that's good. We have a good amount of information there. At least we know what we're dealing with. But the Exeter is on fire. Ideally that fire continues to last because that does make her easier to detect. This again as item. Jesus. Okay, moving into Air Operations Phase PM. But the good news is we do have the G4M1s. The fact that they actually were able to land a strike against the Sumatra is very good news. It's really fantastic there. He definitely did not expect the G4M1s. I could potentially transfer the G4M1s from Kandari to reinforce our position there. Right, Allied submarines there near Guam. Luganville. There's a lot of targets in that area there. Ideally we see a second strike from the Mini-Kido Butai, the MKB. That would be nice. But we do have our battleships nearby, so if we can actually run towards our battleships, we might have a good chance here. I mean, it's one of these things. He's going to be aware of... right, here we go, G491 striking out again. Fantastic news. Hunting down the Sumatra. Come on, fish in the water. Yeah! That's what I like to see. And, yeah. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, man. And again, he's not going to be expecting this. This is going to be a true shock for him. And again, wow, why not? Oh! We're just being gentlemen here. We're just serving it up to him. Come on, more torpedoes. Krakatoa has gone down. I don't imagine the Sumatra is going to be coming out of this one too well. She's on fire, heavy damage. Very good there. The G4M1s are really earning their keep this day. It would have been nice to hit the light cruiser 4 or 5 times, but I'll take that. So far he's had the Exeter hit by bombs, but he still has a decent number of light cruisers. We definitely need to link up with the actual battleships and the heavy cruisers of our own. It could potentially be, this is in the PM phase. So ideally we'll see another strike from the Mini-Kido Butai. But we definitely need the Mini-Kido Butai to actually link up with the battleships and the heavy cruisers to ensure security in those waters. I don't know whether it'll keep on chasing us. I think he will keep on chasing us because he will smell that blood in the water. He's one of these things, like, he knows if he pulls off, he might potentially be hit again. He's very close. He's significantly closer than he was last turn. So he made a good guess. He definitely made a good guess. Okay. Doesn't look like we'll see any additional strikes, which is a shame, but not bad. At least we hit the Exeter 3 times. We actually did knock out her torpedoes, which is very good news. So at least that does equal the odds a little bit more there. We do still have the Megamis, but, well, this is it. We're not looking to engage, we'd be looking to pull out. But an interesting turn so far, actually. Right, so we have our deliberate attack over here at Sinkwang. 140 odd assault value from the 124th Infantry Regiment. We do have the 8th GNAF there. 61. Ooh, okay, so it doesn't fall this turn, which is a shame there. We suffered 29 casualties, but we inflict 287 there. So, Defender, Terrain, Force, Preparation, Fatigue, Morale. Fort level 2, so we don't actually knock it down. Okay, that's rather interesting, but we should be able to knock this down in the next 2-3 days anyway. Right, deliberate attack over here to take the base. Surprising that. I did expect to take Sinkwang, but that's a shame. We'll take it soon. Banzai indeed. Always looks to see if we've actually hit any aircraft. Right, Allied bombardment attack at Sinkwang, that's good news. You can see he's down here to 14, so we should be able to take this in the following turn there. Indeed, land-based aircraft. Oh, this is at Ambon. I thought this was over here then. But this is another Allied bombardment. I don't know why he's going for the bombardment. I can understand that he's trying to, like, destroy these forces, but he's not actually inflicting any damage and he's using his own supply there. Right, Allied attack. Sorry, deliberate attack over here to Boila. Banzai. There we go. Okay, very interesting turn here so far. The G4M1s have definitely announced their presence. And it's good, it was very good for us to actually hold the Sumatra there. She's been torpedoed twice, she's definitely not coming out of that. And we actually got what looked to be 2 cruise and bind layers. It looks as though we detected some a tanker or something to the south as well, which is really good information there. So what I might potentially look at doing then is moving the additional G4M1s from Kendari to Kopang, but we'll see about that. But that was really good. I hope you guys enjoyed that, because I certainly enjoyed that. That was therapeutic, you could say. Definitely more action-packed than I initially imagined, but it was good for us. It would have been nice to have had a few more strikes against the British light cruisers chasing us, but we've hit a few of them so far, which is good. We've hit 2 of the light cruisers, we've hit the Exeter. I mean, they're only like, and we hit another light cruiser. They're not the largest bombs in the world, but we are still causing them damage. Right, 8 ships over here. It looks like one of them might have been actually smashed, moving southwest, so ideally they're not going to be a problem now. There's still forces in here, so were you set to reaction? Oh god, if they'd been set to reaction. But we can see where we should be able to link up in the actual night here. Retreated from service threat, yep, definitely. Right, okay. And we do see a solitary tanker over here. She's heading towards Darwin, it looks like, but the thing is she's going to be easy prey. Right, the Oiler's moving out here. Oh no, this is the supply mission, okay. But that's additional destroyers I can make use of. Our forces have landed over here as well, which is good news. So this unit's pretty much doomed now. We do have our tankers moving into the area. Tankers moving from here. We have tankers over here as well. That's very good. The other battleships are making their way over here as well. So Saga, I might have Saga turn back, or I might have a refuel, but I probably have her turn back. Though we'll see. We should be able to manage it. I might have her just head to Namlo for the time being or something. Or just head back. We'll see. But there we go. Thank you very much there, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. If you're watching the replay, it's been fantastic to have you. And do remember to share, favorite, subscribe, and all that sort of crap. Until next time, thank you and goodbye. There we go. Gonna just start uploading the actual replay here. Yeah, so it's a good one, my man. It is a good one. We've had another good one here, which is just... that's fantastic. Okay, so I'm gonna get this uploaded here then in 2 seconds, guys. How do you guys feel about the turn then? Because I feel quite happy. I feel happy there. It's good to actually take out something on board the Exeter, which is good news. If she's still a flame, that's excellent, because then she's easier to actually spot, which is just, yeah, that's great news. I'm a little bit worried about how close they are. He made a really good guess there. I was hoping that he would have been much further off, but he was pretty close to the money there. We could have... It looks... Yeah, you could see that our forces were retreating from the surface action, so he pretty much was bang on the money there. Which is kind of scary, but it is what it is. We managed to get out of the actual battle there. We managed to actually throw the B5M1s at him. We are able to run into the cover our B5M1s. So our G4M1s as well. So that's excellent news. So the good news is we're moving towards battleships. He's going to be aware of that as well. He's going to be aware. I don't know. The question is he going to keep it up? Because the thing is, if he doesn't inflict that damage on the first turn, we'll be joined by the battleships and the heavy cruisers. We have recovered the actual aircraft, which is excellent news. So it's not going to be a good time for him. He's going to have to seriously consider what he's going to be doing here. I think he's a chance at actually catching the MKB. I think is eluded to him, to be honest. Luckily for us as well, because that was a dangerous force. There was at least 3 heavy cruisers there. So if we assume 3 heavy cruisers and now it's like showing us 8 cruisers in total. One of them could have been potentially turned back to undergo repairs. But it is a scary moment. It is a very scary moment. Okay. Let's go ahead and check the chat here, 2 seconds. Okay. Yeah, can you name the save surprise? Indeed. Okay. Mind if I ask what detection is on the battleships? Yeah, we'll take a look at that shortly, actually. It'll be up soon. It'll be up soon. It's just good upload, my man. Should be up within the next, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, really, if that. But that was awesome. Nice way to begin turn 62 there. I am worried though by the proximity of the cruisers. It's not what I would have preferred, but I think we're still okay. I think at the end of the day, well, we've kind of, I mean, with the Exeter taking that damage, I mean, she's not out of the fight. She still definitely has the fighting capability. But at least we've removed some of her torpedoes, so at least we've reduced her combat effectiveness down a little bit. We hit 2 of the cruisers already, well, 3 of the cruisers. I think we hit Colombo the day before as well. I'm just hoping that Exeter remains aflame. That would be nice. But the good news is we do have our... We have our BBs close, we have the CAs close, we have the cover of the G4M1s, which is fantastic. I'll have to double check the actual range that we have on the G4M1s. I might go for the max range just to make sure that we're able to potentially intercept the enemy, but that's it. Okay, yep, the replay there is uploading, so we'll get back into this. Okay. How many MKB planes did you lose? I'll have to double check. We saw 2 CAs, Exeter and Cornwall. Oh, was it Exeter and Cornwall? Oh, right, okay. Was it 2? I think I might have... Was it 2 then? It might have been because I saw the 3 there. Then again, it's even suggesting 4. Okay, then. Probably was 2. But I don't know if I saw a 3rd one in the actual replay. I feel like I saw a 3rd one, but I might have been just like, too caught up there. Okay. Okay, so you're shortly there, so... well, this is it, isn't it? We hit the light cruisers. So if we take a look, so there's only 5 out of 5 there, so he's not going to have a complete idea as far as we know. He's got 10 out of 10 over here. There's a light rain. Overcast over here. But the good news is I can avoid these guys now. Now, the question comes down to... It is a difficult one here. I was kind of hoping he wouldn't be that close. We do have 40 nautical miles there. And it's going to be a close run thing. I could potentially have these guys sprint, but I don't know. I don't know if it's worthwhile, because the thing is, if we... I don't know. We still have a fair amount of combat capability here. I mean, this is a lot of destroyers here, and these guys... That's a lot of destroyers there. The range there, 22,000 yards. I think we should be okay. I doubt that would end up in a gunnery engagement, and I think the thing is, if he's going to intercept us, he's going to intercept us more than likely at night, which makes it easier for us to pull out there. I don't know. I'm not super keen on running anything at full speed. I think it's one of those where it's probably not worthwhile. If we take a look at the range from Kopang to MKB... Right, they're 20 hexes, so he's at 21 hexes over here then. If we move a little bit further, he's going to be within range. These guys are definitely within range, but there was a more juicy target over here. Now, supposedly there's another 3 ships in here, which is intriguing. I don't think the Sumatra went down, so the Sumatra is probably in there. If we go ahead and check on, like, planes lost then, so aircraft losses. So 2 G401s then, 1 to flag, 1 to operations. K46 went down there to operations. G3M2 to operations, B5M1 to operations, and a Walrus 2 to operations. The PBYs that we did intercept over about this area here didn't go down. But oh well. He doesn't have any detection over here. There's a little bit of detection here. Not terribly much. But yeah, I mean, that kinda has blown the situation open for him there. You can see a couple of these guys. Let's take a look. Yeah, we saw those cruiser mine layers go down there. We know about those. They sank actually in that. You can see there's a fair bit of damage there potentially from the AA. I mean, this is it. It was a light cruiser. And I'm tempted to bring in the actual aircraft from Kandari. If I take a look over here then. Yeah, we have the aviation support here then. So it looks like the 5th Air Division might... Yeah, it looks like it's been entirely unloaded, which is superb there. Beautiful timing. Beautiful timing. Well, this is it. It's one of these things of, will he turn back? He may not turn back because he's very close to MKB. But it is one of these. It is an interesting one. I wish we had actual sighting of the enemy, but what we might have to do then is put more of them to night search, especially as they are this close. We might potentially look at a night strike, but it's one of these. It might be worth going for a night strike on the MKB, as we'll have the cover of the G4M1s over here. I think what I might do is actually have the G4M1s transferred from Kandari to Kopang. The reason being just really increasing the amount of actual potential strikes. It would be very nice. Okay. But man, that was awesome. That was awesome. How many troops over here? Okay, thank God for that. There's not that many. But then again, I only have 25 troops here. So, okay. That probably is going to backfire. I'm just hoping that he doesn't know about that, because that is, that's kind of bad. Okay. We might lose the forces over here just wrong, but then again, it's... if it was a larger unit, we'll have one of the other units pack up and head over there then. Right, Destroyer and AMC over here. So we'll be able to take these bases next turn, which is excellent. The good news about this is it's going to leave that unit there cut off, and then, yeah, they're pretty much going to surrender. So we do have a 4th detachment moving out. I mean, I potentially might have them move up to another base closer to Balikpapan, but... Well, these guys, where are these guys actually intended for? They're intended to hit Denpasar, but they're going to move here and destroy this unit ideally. They'll have nowhere to really go to, so that's good news. So ideally we can force them to surrender. Okay. I mean, this was interesting over here. Right, so it's in the same hex here. These guys are in combat, so they're not going to be destroyed as easily. I mean, even if they are destroyed, it doesn't particularly matter. It's only a Thai division. They're obviously okay. They're nice, you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna, like, lose any sleep to that. Okay. You got 5 hits with the 30 B5N1s, each carrying... Well, to be honest, that's still accuracy. That's still fairly... It's not bad. It's one of these of... it might be worth it, but we'll see. We're going to try and think how we want to do this. I was trying to think how we might be able to get a strike, because I don't know if he's going to chase us, but I think we'll reserve him for the daytime, just to maximise our effectiveness. But we'll see. We'll see. It is a valid point made. If the Exeter's a flame, then she'd be a real big target. Okay, these forces have been loaded, which is good news. Right, so we've unloaded the air fleet over here. Still a few more troops aboard here to be unloaded. Oh, right, these troops have been loaded. Okay, fantastic. So the entire air fleet has been unloaded, which is superb. Very good news. Yeah, he's really desperate to try and hit anything here, but the thing is, there's just nothing here at Buna. I imagine he's expecting me to be bringing supplies in here, which, okay, yeah, that's fair. We have 4,000 supplies here, but I imagine these supplies are moving out elsewhere. Yeah, there's like 6,000 supplies over here now, which is interesting. 392 supplies over here. How many sorters does MKB have left? And take a look. 0 aboard the Ryujo. We still have 30, it's only 138 aboard the Zuho. Uh, 41 aboard Taiyo, and 144 aboard the Hosho. But what we can do even with the Ryujo is, these guys can be just set to 100% naval search. I could potentially even have them naval search at night, really. Might be worthwhile. But yeah, even if we don't have any sorters aboard, you can still strike at the enemy using naval search. That doesn't cost you any sorties. But yeah, Sumatra's basically destroyed. Well, she's basically effed. I mean, I can't see a situation in which she's not effed. The only issue is it's going to potentially delay our forces here. Kind of awkward positioning there. Okay. Aircraft over there. A few fighters over here as well. A little bit surprised about Sinkawang, but then again it has a level 2 fortification, so it'll fall. It'll fall soon enough. Can you check ships sunk? Yeah, sure, I can go ahead and do that. Ships sunk. I don't think it'll... Well, there we go. So we see these guys over here. I mean, these cruiser miles, I mean, these are worthwhile. In all honesty, it prevents... I mean, look at that, 75. I mean, that's 150 mines there, but he could have put down in total somewhere. So that's good news. Okay, we'll go ahead and check on China. I don't have any information over this area here. Tiyun's still unoccupied. Chikyang's still unoccupied, which is good news. We have information over Changte. We have information over here. So there's a single unit over here at Xinjiang, which is good news. It looks to be a base force. This unit's been identified. Just a single bomber over there. So he's moved his aircraft out, which is interesting. Okay, so he's blocking the rail line here at the moment in time, which is a bit of a pain in the arse. That's kind of a pain in the arse there. But that's okay, I can dispatch a unit to go ahead and deal with that pretty easily. And the situation to the north, it's not too bad. He really hasn't been that effective with his economic warfare. He looks to be keeping his submarines really in a static position, more or less. We should be able to actually verify this one today quite well, actually. We'll see about that. I think what I might do here then is dispatch the, potentially even the 34th Division. Though saying that, if we take a look over here, they're still rested, so I'm going to leave them to just continue to rest. I think I'll have the 61st and the 57th Infantry Brigade dispatched. Oh, Grim, good to have you, my dude. How you feeling? Right, we'll have them move here. But if he's sending a single Chinese unit out there, I'll take care of that. I don't mind. We're going to look towards putting units across the entirety of this rail line here. We're going to be looking in the next few days, we're going to be looking at really moving all of our, forming a second army here in the north, a second army group. He's not moving over here towards Nanning, which is quite surprising. As far as I can tell, I can't see any movement there. Seeing 2 units over here. Okay, 7 out of 10. So it's looking pretty good so far. Quay Lin, not seeing any of the units moving over here. Numbers look to be relatively the same. Ah, man, I hope you're alright now. How you feeling, dude? Okay, we have supply enough to actually attack, so we will attack. I'm going to have them both deliberate attack. A good amount of planning there, actually. Not much in the way of just disruption or fatigue. And now we need buffer cubes. Oh dear. Okay. So we're in position here to go ahead and pick up that unit. I'm going to have to... Yeah, so I might have to spend some political points here to actually have this transferred. It would be worthwhile, though. 98 points. Ooh, might consider that one. It would be nice to have it moved out. Right, the 4th Air Division's over here. Fantastic. So I can have these guys loaded up and made ready to move out, actually. Having another Air Division's fantastic. You can see here they have a command radius of 4. So we're going to have to think about where that unit's going to be going in the near future. Okay. Yeah, looks like these guys need to upgrade. So we'll dispatch you into the port there. Yeah, these Fubukis need to be upgraded. If I've been missing these Fubukis, if they just all assembled this turn, I've probably been missing them, to be honest. So I'll have them all disband there, so they can begin to upgrade there. Oof. Okay. So we are moving some supply into China, which is nice. We should have our supply... Yeah, so I'll be moving to Wuchang next turn then, which is good news. We'll take a look at the amount of supply then. How we're looking over here at Changsha. Wow. So that's actually a pretty... Oh, well then again, that would make sense. We did have the 6th Division move in here, didn't we? So that does make sense. Actually, let's take a look over here. Huh. Yeah, fantastic. So the road to Changsha should now be open. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. So you can see here then. Can I do the zoomy? Okay, we're gonna zoom in. Enhance! 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 We need to go deeper. There we go. So you can see that the... Gonna have to make the slightest movement there. Yeah, you can see that the line... There we go. Oh god. Interesting to actually see the font this close. Okay, let's go back. By the power of Grayskull, there we go. Yeah, zoom. Oh man, bring on Brexit, I can't wait. Okay. Gotta love those like CSI China moments there. That's always a lot of fun. But yet we have the road open now, which is fantastic. So if we take a look over here then, so we still have... I've got the bloody zoom thing. I'll plug it off, zoomy. There we go. So you can see that there's still 4 units over here at Hengyang, which is good news. He's got a unit over here. I don't know how strong that is, so I'd like to get some confidence on that in the future, actually. Okay. But that's great. So we have the 8th Armoured Company over here, Armoured Car Company over here, I should say. What I will be doing is having the 6th Division moving out immediately. So they're going to be moving down to this position over here then. I'm going to have to double check which position, well, which way they will move. God damn, the 4th Brigade's taking a longer... single mile. God damn it. But that's fine. They'll arrive tomorrow, and then they can begin marching over here to join up with the division at Hengyang. So So it looks like the 38th Division's marched along this way to march along the roads. It might be with the... I don't know. I think with the 38th Division there, I think we'll have to make a choice. I was expected to move down this road here, but it looks like it's moving through this road over here. Maybe we have them move from Kukong to join over here. It might be that we sacrifice a 6th Division at Malaya to have another division over here at Hengyang, actually. The Wallet Sea's been rather interesting, actually. I think I'm going to get going for now. Oh, that's quite ominous, then. That's ominous. Okay, I'll see you later, no name. Yeah, the Wallet Sea's been rather interesting. We've been having the MKB off the coast of Australia. We're currently being chased by these forces over here, but we did actually hold us in March of this turn with our G4M1s over here at Kopang, which is excellent news. How close are we to Singapore? You know, that's a good point. I think we should probably arrive at Singapore tomorrow, then. Yeah, looks like we should drive more than likely tomorrow or the day after. Yeah, some tankers repurposed as artificial reefs. Yeah. Oh dear. So he's still got an aircraft over there. Okay. So he's got 54 fighters here, 19. So it looks like he's moved out his bombers over here, then 12 auxiliaries. Which is okay. I mean, it's not great. I would have preferred him to have kept them there. But we will shut down the port here at Rangoon very soon. And the 22nd Air Flotilla has arrived in position, so it's going to take them some time to actually unload. But the good news is they're now here, which is excellent. So 2 days we'll have the full benefit of the 22nd Air Flotilla. But I could potentially use the torpedoes now if I wanted to. Yeah, 156, so bang on the money there for the aviation sport. But I can actually make that a little bit better for us by moving the A5 and 4s out of here. But the good news is we have our zeros in place. That's excellent. So let's go ahead and take a look at the wider world then. So we'll show enemy units, enemy task forces. Now, we did detect some, yeah, detected 2 destroyers down here, which is really interesting. Okay. I think I'll have this guy move a little bit further out over here, actually. So what's the largest ship that was, probably still the Haruna at this moment in time. But we hit some pretty large tankers. We take a look. Ship sunk last month. Okay, so this is what's been destroyed over the last month in here, really. So we'll sort by points, I guess. Now, yeah, I sincerely doubt the Oklahoma. We did have the Kashima near Bellow. God, it's crazy to think that's in the last 30 days, isn't it? But it really is. Yeah, so we're still looking at the actual results here of the Battle of Bellap Islands. We've seen our Kido Butai's raid against the Australian coastline with the British motorist over there. That's a nice big surprise there. Potentially more as well. I mean, Walton was a really nice ship to hit there. Salland, Buenos Aires. It's not listing all the tankers that we hit either, which is a bit unfortunate. Sunchase was a nice hit too. So if we sort this by Navy then. So, yeah, these guys... Yeah, we lost these guys to the mines then, unfortunately. But this was more so in the last month, not so much this month, really. Yeah, I think it was it Chattanooga City? I think it was Chattanooga City that we hit, and then we saw like all the aircraft operation losses for him. There we go. So we've been hitting a few more. I mean, obviously this isn't all the ships that we've actually hit, or all the ships that have actually been sunk yet. Sushi's Revenge. So yeah, I will be adjusting the submarine patterns around Wellington. I was speaking with Infinite, and we're probably a little bit close here. He does suggest being about 5 hexes out, so we'll look to be about this position here, really. I do have my other submarines on the way as well, which is fantastic. They should be really operational very shortly. There we go. We've got 2 float planes in here, which is excellent. You can't count one. But we're going to get them in position. Still no signs of the American carriers, so it's going to be interesting. I don't know. I still think they're at Pearl. I just don't see it happening at New Zealand, but I remain hopeful. Okay. 9 allied ships near truck, which is interesting. False report. We did see some submarines near truck. Right. To logging. Okay, submarines there. Which is Task Force 81V battleships. Okay, it's well, the thing is, we're not going to have a Solomon's campaign. That's not going to happen. Yeah, that's what I mean. Not operational. You know what I mean. I know what I mean. That's 81, okay. This is... What task force is this? 38, okay. Just so I know, because I'm hoping that we might have been detected something. He probably has aircraft out here, so I'm trying to see what we might have. Sighted over Devoy. Bound for it. Devoy's in... well, next... Yeah, British territory there by Thailand. Okay. Reported hit, which is always good. PTQ 113. Reported hit there, that's nice. Bellop Islands, that one's interesting. 107155. We'll have to check that one out. Allied aircraft at 138, 137 here for the footy. Ground floor of the plane, yeah, indeed. Right, there we go. Been transferring the Yokosuka furthest left to Saigon now. Okay. Very nice, very nice. Signal intelligence. Yeah, I mean, this is it. Look at that. Heavy volume radio transmission detected at Pearl. I just feel like it's at Pearl. Bataan, Pendleton, Wendover Field, Cheetah, Fresno. There's a lot of activity on the US coastline, it seems then. But we'll keep up our patrol here. I'm going to keep this submarine with the float plane in this position round here. How's it actually doing that thing? Ah, yeah, it's in good order. It's in good order. How's the AK Casino doing? Did I forget to tell her to load supplies? I feel like I probably forgot to tell her to load supplies. Sounds about right. Oh dear. But we'll have Casino begin loading supplies this turn, man. Fantastic, the Oilers made it. Yes. That's what I like to see there. The good news is we do have a bunch of patrol boats over here, which is excellent. Sub-chasers are plenty too, which is really, really good. I think we should be able to rearm their depth charges as well over here at Kopang. Kopang's really turned into a great base for us. It's come at the right time just to really have a big impact on the actual campaign, which is fantastic. Yeah, well, this is it. There's at least 2 heavy cruisers in here as well as a bunch of light cruisers. But we do have a task force on its way, which is led by the Issei and Hyuga, and it's got 4 heavy cruisers and 4 destroyers there as well. We did torpedo the Sumatra over here twice, so I don't imagine she's looking too hot. If we go in here then. A few of them were damaged, so I think I will move in the 2nd squadron here then. I could move in some reserves, but it's one of these things they won't be immediately ready. I mean, some of them could be immediately ready, but they won't be... No, I don't think they'll be immediately ready. I think it would take at least a day for them to be ready anyway. So it's one of those situations of is it worth it, because they're not going to really come into effect yet. Are you rushing the BPs? Yeah, we're not going to move them at full speed. I know, Thor. I know, man. I know you lied to the voice of the downer. But I know you're right. Which is why we do have a tankers moving in additional fuel here. I mean, granted, they're only carrying 3750. 1 fuel doesn't equal 1 endurance, well. I forget what the actual ratio is, but it isn't 1 to 1. We do have the actual ships over here, the patrol boats to siphon fuel from, which is good news. But yeah, we've got 6,250 fuel over here as well, which is nice. Good news is they'll be able to move fuel from Babal to Arbin to here as well, which is good. This tank is unloading. That's good. So can have you dock and unload. We have additional tankers moving in here then. So these guys are carrying near 40,000 tons of fuel, which is good news. Behind that is another 12,950 tons of fuel. So we can have the San Diego and Maru move into Babaldoir. These other guys can move into the Dutch East Indies, which is excellent. That's very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, there we go. That's a huge influx of aviation. So that's coming from Takao, actually. Tanks over there, they're going to be moved into China. Okay. But ideally, we'd be able to secure Nanning in the following turn. Would be nice, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll go ahead and take a look over here then. It was good to see the actual bombardment there. Yeah, that's interesting. So that was a 145, 166. So that's an ASW attack, which is interesting. It could have been just the actual... I don't know, it's a very interesting thing for them to have there, like, 2 destroyers. I mean, maybe he's going to use that as a site for logistics, perhaps? Maybe he's using them to protect that. Hard to say sometimes. It is hard to say. Air attack will be done. We didn't have as many attacks go through on Singapore, but at least we had one, so that's fine enough. The weather's not exactly great here at the moment in time. Okay. RTA was attacked there, but at least we do have ideas of aircraft we're working with. We'll have to figure out where the other aircraft are coming from. Okay, yeah, there we go. That was a Sumatra there. Very good news. It's a Type 91 torpedo, so how effective are the Type 91 torpedoes? So if we go in here, then... aircraft weapons? Would it be counted as an aircraft weapon? Maybe. Jesus Christ, look at the size of that bastard. Jesus, look at the size of that bastard. What the hell drops that? Must be like a British... It must be like a Lancaster or something like that. Oh, there we go. We have the atomic bomb. Fantastic. Yeah, that takes the cake. Jesus. Okay. Oh, there we go, torpedoes. This is a Type 91, isn't it? We'll go with effect. Oh. Oh, I guess you won't sort it then. There we go, Type 91 torpedoes. So that's 529 there. I can imagine it's gonna hurt. I can imagine it's not something that you really like want to be hit by. You know what I mean? And especially being hit by 2 of them. Definitely not good. I love the fact we can see the speed of them here. So you see the Type 91 there has 43 knots. Type 93 has 50. It's 50 goddamn knots. And look at the effect of that thing. 1080. That really hurts. 61 centimeters. That might be the long lance there. Which is this? I think these are the air launch torpedoes potentially. Yes, I think that's actually the long lance here. Maybe that's an air version of it. I'm not entirely sure there. Okay, but again, look at the kite in there. 3,417. You do not want to get hit by that thing. Jesus. Okay. To be honest, sometimes I don't even know where to begin here at the moment. It feels kind of strange. Of course it's right next to me. God, I do not want that to hit my ABs. So we are going to route out there. Move away from them. Okay. Unloading there, which is good news. But at least we do have that fuel in position. How you doing there, Diligent? Good to have you, my man. Right, I do have some additional troops there. 277. I could have them potentially move to Sarong. What do we have here, then? There we go, so we have the additional coins there. They're going to come in very handy in the near future. Independent... Okay, they can be loaded back up. Good news is I can dock here. So select and load. Verified load. There we go. A little bit of fuel there at Hollandia. Did we only just unload this turn or something? Or did I forget to put them on deliberate attack? Okay. That CA fleet chasing KB. If it is time to move fast. We don't have the fuel enough to make it worthwhile. Unfortunately. I'm not entirely sure in regards to the Kaiten, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure how they work. I've never actually been able to use them. But it would be rather interesting to see. But I understand what you mean in Bear Resonance, but it's one of these things. It's like, even if they do catch us, we still have a good chance of getting away. We do have enough destroyers to actually screen our forces while I don't think he can really screen himself. I don't know if light cruisers can actually screen. I don't know how it potentially works there. We'll see. Okay. Right, do we have any better... Yeah, I thought so. It was suggesting to us that there was only one unit there at Pod Moresby for some time, and I really did doubt that. So we can see there's 3 units there. No, I'm talking about against the Mini-Kido Butai, the MKB over here. Like, also, we do have enough destroyers to actually screen our forces, but I don't know if the actual light cruisers screen the heavy cruisers. I can imagine it'd screen them. Well, the thing is, it's like, we could run away... Well, that's it, isn't it? 21 knots. But we're fine. We're fine. We should be okay. No need to worry here. I'm a little bit worried about the fuel, but we are okay. We'll make it. I don't really have much of the way of leeway of space here, so it's one of these. We might look for the most direct route between us and our forces, but then again, that could make us potentially quite predictable there, really. So we'll have to really consider this one. We might have them meet... I don't know, it's one of those. We're a little bit low on fuel. I would prefer to have had more fuel, but we'll see. I do have submarines in the vicinity that could be routed here. At least one of them is in the vicinity to be routed down there to aid, which is quite good. We can't afford to go full speed, man. Can't afford it. It's not worth it. We don't have enough fuel. We'll survive, man. We'll survive. You got to bear in mind that we did see these CVs retreat from battle over here in the actual replay. That indicates that they might have actually been caught. They do not retreat unless they're actually so very close. So he might have been within range. We might have been about here, and then we retreated up over here. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. You've got to bear in mind, yeah, he has a few cruisers there, but he's still going up against 2 Megami-class heavy cruisers. He's still going up against Kagiros. And these guys do not piss around. He's still going to go up against that. The fact is, as well, we're not going to be actually aiming to stay in the battle. So the thing is, when you do have carriers in your actual task force, they are basically... They look to retreat at the first opportunity, basically. As you can see, we are set to low threat threshold as well, so we'll be looking to get out of battle as soon as possible, really. The weather over the area here is... Okay, so it's clear weather over us at the moment. That's pretty typical. Oh no, it's a bit of light rain. We do have some overcast over here as well. So ideally, the weather is poor. If we take a look at the actual weather report here. Clear skies, rain. Okay, well, that's typical. Yeah, as 4 says there, some of his cruisers have taken damage. I mean, this is it. It's hard to say how much damage we've actually caused there. It did look like it might have been potentially quite bad on some of the light cruisers, which is good news. It's one of those, really. I mean, Exeter being hit was very good there. Because at the end of the day, at least it has... it's going to cause some issues. The best case scenario is ideal. I mean, we knocked out some of her torpedoes, which is great news. I'm really happy about that. And if we go back, we'll take a look at that. Something to bear in mind as well, we're not far from actually being under the cover of Kopang's G4M1s. Not certain that we would be under cover. But we should be able to link up. It's like we are 12 hexes out over here. There's an option to attach 2 DDs and have them run the carrot. I mean, that is an option. It could be potentially quite a good option. But it's something to definitely consider. Definitely something to consider, man. This is one of our best destroyers as well. The fact that they do have a rearm, well, a reload on the actual torpedoes there is very good. Yeah, so they all have 2 torpedoes. At least 2 launchers of torpedoes. Yeah, I mean, this is it. It's the armor-piercing bombs, aren't they? Which is very good. believe they're armor-piercing ones. So if we take a look over here, Venerujo, take a look at the B5M1s. Yeah, these guys run 100% naval search first, okay. So... they're general purpose bombs, okay. How you doing, Mezzo? Welcome back, my man. Well, the thing is, it's not good. Obviously, we can't afford to really lose anything, but you've got to bear in mind that obviously Japan lost her entire fleet for the most part, and still wasn't knocked out of the war, so we've got that going for us. We could lose everything and would still keep on fighting, really. Not that we wouldn't be defeated at that point, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Well, the thing is, those guys aren't an attack. The reason why they're on naval search is the fact that they are... there's no sorters board here. Yeah, it wasn't it, Infinite? That was great, man. That was great. We don't have a detection over here at the moment in time, which is unfortunate. I might have them switch over to night naval search. Well, night naval search, potentially. Yeah. It's one of these things when you have them run naval search, they don't use sorties, which is why they've been on that mode, they've been like that for the last 2-3 days, really. It's an interesting one here. I think what we could potentially do is... Now that complicates things. Because they probably will get intercepted by the BBs. If I set them to level 6... Well, I should probably have them on 6 reaction this turn, but it is what it is. He may choose to follow. It's uncertain, really. I think he would have avoided... Well, he would have ignored the actual battleships and heavy cruisers, but the G4M1s really give him something that he has to take into consideration there. Well, yeah, it's a shame. I mean, they kind of got... trigger happy on that one there. Now, we do have detection... Sorry, well, yeah, there's one hex between us, so we might be able to go for reaction 1, perhaps. We'll see. At the moment, we have... Well, we have 8... Sorry, we have 17 that are ready. Yeah, 17 are ready. 5 are stood down at the moment as they're undergoing repairs, which has probably come from the actual light cruiser. Yeah, of course, I don't want to lose any light cruisers, but I'm not that scared at the moment. I think we have a pretty good situation here. It's one of these of where supporting forces aren't far away. We only have to... If we survive the night, we should be okay. He did well, though, to guess that we'd be heading in this direction. He did well there. It's one of these, though. We only have a limited amount of fuel, so we can't really take too much in the way of evasive maneuvers, really. Well, not too far out. If we take a look over here, then. So let's see. That is 20 hexes, 18 hexes, 17 hexes. Yeah, so if we fly at maximum range, we have to... We need to move 3 hexes before we're within range of the G4M1s. So it's one of those, it might be even potentially a revenge strike, to be honest. But we'll see. Ideally, he will recognize a threat and pull out, but I don't think he will do. We've seen that he's very gung-ho about his light cruisers. We'll see there. It's better to lose a carrier in the battle than lose it. Well, this is it. But I don't think we're going to lose the carrier. I think we'll be okay. He had his chance during the night, it seems, and we came out of that with the force retreating there. It's one of those, I'm optimistic. I just think we have a decent enough cover force. I mean, the thing is, it's like he's got to get past the... I mean, what do we have here? 2 heavy cruisers, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 destroyers. He's got to get past the 8 destroyers and the 2 light cruisers. Sorry, 2 heavy cruisers. So we're not without teeth, really. That's the way to look at this. We're not without any defenses. I think I don't know, I feel like I probably put too much faith on the destroyers and their torpedoes, but then again, a torpedo, the actual Type 93s, could significantly change the battle in one fell swoop. And we have, what, 16 chances? Which would be nice. Well, I mean, this is it, ideally. I think I will look towards having the G4s transferred from Kendari over here. They may not fly, but then again, we saw these guys, they'd only been here this single day, they flew out that night, so that was pretty good to see there. If we take a look, their fatigue is up 21. The Carrier 43s did a good job as well, actually. It's one of those, really. It has really... It's let slip the actual threat over here to him, but that might be a good thing here. You fucking love that joke. God damn it. It never stops being funny. Oh, god damn it. He will either try to blitz the MKB directly or he will predict your destination. Well, the thing is, if he's moving... if he's going to try and intercept us, he's going to attempt to do that. Your DDs are unlikely to go into top runs while the whole task force is in disengage. Well, this is it. We will be in disengaging, as Marauder points out there. By the way, do go ahead and check out Marauder's channel. He does a lot of fantastic one of these content. But yes, as Marauder says there, the DDs will unlikely be within torpedo range, because we will be looking towards disengaging, really. So, I suppose the way to look at it is the torpedoes are more of a defensive weapon, really. Which is very nice. But we'll see, man. We'll see. I think we're in a good situation. I think one more turn and we will be basically home free, really. The Oilers are here, the AK is here, which is good news. I mean, we do have additional surface assets as well, so I don't think it's worth sending them out. I don't know what would really gain there. The detection level on the BBs is about 5 out of 5, so he doesn't have perfect information there. The good news as well is the fact that the BBs do have, well, the BBs and the CAs do have their own float planes as well. Okay, so we're going to have to unpack that one. I think what you're saying is if the German Navy operated without regard for the well-being of its dreadnoughts, they could have potentially defeated the blockade. Potentially, but then again, the Royal Navy was the largest navy on the planet. If you had the cheek fun, you might make MKB halt the Kopang approach and press on for one more turn of air attacks. I think we're at a point now where I could probably share the fuel out, but I don't want to share the fuel out because it'll reduce the amount of distance we can cover. We'll be able to pick up torpedoes in the near future. Once the AK's loaded, then we can actually have them rearm the torpedoes, though, which should be very good there. As you live, Infinite, have a good one, my man. Hey, Dumesky. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Welcome. We have sorties. We do have sorties. There's only one light cruiser. Only Ryojo has no sorties. The other light cruisers, sorry, light carriers and escort carriers do have sorties. There's 138 remaining aboard. Zubiha Hosho has 144, Taiyo has 41 out of 90. So we actually do have a good majority of our sorties still remaining to the carriers. We've been learning a lot about how carriers operate. Basically, having your aircraft escorted uses a sortie, having your aircraft perform naval attacks uses a sortie, but if you run naval search, you do not in fact use a sortie. So that's really how we've been getting around the system. Well, not getting around the system because we are using the system. But it's like how we've been getting around our potential low amount of sorties there, basically. Okay. Yeah, no, I know what you mean, man. It is a scary thing to see. The good news is we're out of the way of that, which is excellent. We did see them strike against something here. I think they were striking against that, so fair enough. There's a lot of escorting fighters to go alongside that. And we do potentially see a tanker down here, so that'll be quite nice. So it looks like he's using Darwin. So the good news is, as soon as we deal with the threats at hand, we will be able to start hitting these assets out here. And to be honest, between the G4s at Kopang and the G3s over here at Rabal, where's he going to go? He's not going to go anywhere, is he, really? No, sir. Okay. So he has, what is it now? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, so he's got 6 submarines operating in this area here. He's got 2 over here, it seems. Well, this is it, yeah. I mean, this is it, really. Do you think that THG knows you could resupply so close to Australia? I don't imagine so. He might have some sort of suspicion now, the fact that I do have torpedoes. He's not daft, he's going to know that if I'm using torpedoes, that means I actually have an air division out there, or a air headquarters. So he's not daft, he'll know that. And yeah, that's going to send a pretty clear message. Actually, speaking of that, I'm going to go ahead and send the replay over to him now. So just be 2 seconds there, guys. Good thing you reminded me there. And we're not going to have too terribly much longer. It is a little bit late here at night. Unfortunately, we did have to start a little bit later, but we'll have a lot of time to go through this in the near future, actually. And I want to sneeze really bad right now. Resist. Okay. No, not stopping as of yet. We will be stopping soon enough. God damn the Zope, I love your creative use of language. Okay. There we go. So that's looking excellent then. So, in regards to the rest of the theatre at large then, let's take a look. So the Kyoko, they're in position here. They are under the China area, so I will goddamn use them. It's near enough 1,000 men, well, fighting men. More than that in total, but you know what, I can make use of that. So they're going to head towards Hengyang. I think we might have to debate whether or not we use the 38th Division. I think 5 divisions are pretty strong. It would be nice to have a 6th Division, but I could potentially have a 6th Division come from elsewhere in the near future. It's just one of these of... how can we, I mean, that's a lot of assault value there. It's a goddamn good division. That's 485 assault value. It's a basically mint condition division there. So we've got the 104th in position over here at the moment. Now they are preparing for Hengyang. It is a big choice to make, but it does mean that we've got the 6th division on the way already. We can have the 4th brigade join in, so that would take us up to a total of 3 divisions and a brigade. A naval guard unit that could be routed that way. There's a battalion over here, but it's not the entire. It's not very strong. — 23rd Army is moving up that way. We do have some artillery as well, which is quite good. So it is one of these. I mean, these heavy guns I'd like to have elsewhere, but then again, they could come in handy. I might have the heavy guns continue down to Canton. It is a tough one. Right, there's the 97th JAF. Okay. The good news is, I'll be able to move more L3s. Is it L3s? Yeah, the L3s over here. These guys are still stood down and resting. Let's take a look. When will they be ready? So 2 will be ready in 2 days. 1 more in 3 days, okay. Use it in China. Well, yeah, I mean, this is what I'm leaning towards now. I think it's one of these, like, having a 3rd division south of Hengyang could make a pretty goddamn big difference there. Thank you very much, therefore. Let's actually take a look at these pilots. They're pretty experienced as well. We'll give them somebody who's actually decent on the transportation. I don't want to give them just somebody who's crap. I don't really think I have much in the way of choice, but there you go. Looks like I did that the wrong way there. So I'm going to put in another pilot there. I definitely did that wrong. But it's not bad anyway, so that's okay. It's actually slightly better. Okay, so we should have that aviation support there. It's only 8. Geez, there's not a lot of aviation support, okay. Well, we'd need it for Malaya. We could always have it moved down to Malaya in the future. I mean, it doesn't have to remain in China that long. I suppose it's one of these. It's like... We do have 4 divisions here. The 21st is on the way, so we'll have the 5th division here shortly. So 21st is on the way. You know what, Zerp, I love you. Like, Jesus Christ, man, you amuse me so much, it's great. I'm so glad to have you. But yeah, we do have the 21st division. We haven't lost an actual division as of yet. Would have been nice to have Sinkawang, but at least we are fighting for it. I think this is it. I don't know whether we're going to see additional tankers moving out to the Dutch East Indies for some time. He may look towards evacuating everything that is there, but we'll see about that, really. See about that, I should say. Whether he does or not is kind of unknown. He does like to take his chances sometimes. It's just how much can we actually punish him for doing it, really. Can you look if you have any destroyed LCUs? We don't have any destroyed LCUs. Let's see. Yeah, there's none that have been destroyed as of yet. Oh dear, man. Right, so they're going to be routed out to avoid the submarines ideally. In fact, what I'm going to do is add in another waypoint there. Palembang, of course, but the thing is, he is a gentleman and he has agreed to not go for a Fortress Palembang. We will be moving on. See, the thing is, it's like I'd love to move upon Palembang, but I can't really do that until I take Singapore for the most part. We will be moving upon Balikpapan shortly, but what I'm going to probably be going for then is a movement upon Denpasar. And the good news is at least we've been able to hit the light cruiser here, so that could have been a potential problem. And what I'm going to be looking at is basically having the division, or the detachment of the division from Kopang, move around and hit Denpasar from the south over here, from the Indian Ocean side. With Denpasar secured, at least that gives us a base over here. We'll have these 2 bases in the following turn, which is good news as well, because we can actually chase down and destroy that Dutch unit. What's the terrain here? Clear terrain, rough terrain there. Fuck me, rough terrain's always a bitch. Could take us a while to move there. But it'll be worthwhile, I suppose. Or is it? It might be worthwhile just remaining in position and letting the Dutch just wither on the vine there, really. We don't have to take them out. So I think I'll have the division remain in place, because then at least because I intend to have the Makassar division detachment actually head over here to Balikpapan. We're not in a position to land on Java as of yet. We do need to do a lot of reconnaissance over the area, just reconnoitre the area, just to figure out where his strength is, where his weaknesses are. Okay. I think he will attack next turn. He's definitely moving units there, but I mean, that's fine. I really don't give much an F about that. Yeah, we need oil, but we don't need oil that desperately. The thing is, with the oil over here, in some ways it's actually better that it remains under Dutch control. When we do take it over, there's a good chance that a lot of that oil there will be destroyed, well, damaged, i.e. the actual oil facilities. So the longer it remains under his control, the longer it remains running at 100% efficiency. It's one of those of where it will fall towards, it's just we're going to have to get around to it. I'm not too particularly eager to move into this area as of yet, as you can take into consideration the fact that I have 77 bombers over here. I'd like to actually have air power to support us here, really. But yeah, as we can see over here, he's been operating submarines off the coast of Marie. I'm going to look towards securing the area more so before moving the actual tankers in there, really. We are drip feeding oil into the economy from Sakhalin. So it's not as if we're not moving any in. Obviously it's a deficit, but we can manage that for the time being. We have a good few hundred days, really. Obviously, the sooner we get that fuel moving there, we're not going to be waiting 200 days there. Yeah, I don't know. Can he turn them off? I'm not entirely sure if we can turn them off as such. Yeah, we're using all the industry that we've taken. Let's take a look. I forget if you can turn industry off. So it looks like you turn heavy industry off, but you can't turn light industry off then. Yeah, light industry is always on okay. Let's see, need a refinery. Whether it turns it off or not, whatever, I don't really give that much in the way of shit. We'll take it in the future, my man. Nice, goddammit. Right, yeah, so oil can be turned off. But that's fine. He can't turn the oil off anyway, Ben, so that's fantastic, man. So yeah, that's fine. I don't really give much in the way of I don't really care about the refinery so much. It would be nice to actually have the refinery, but the refinery is going to be there to really serve the local area, not so much Japan. I don't really want to be moving fuel back to Japan as such. I'd rather use the fuel in the area and have the oil move back to Japan, because obviously we can use that to be refined in our own refineries. Obviously then those refineries produce supplies as well. So I'd rather move oil back to Japan, really. But then again, having natural fuel move out there is not a bad thing. Okay. So we do have our base force over here at Naval, which is good news, because we're no longer getting that pop-up about the lack of garrison. Which means that we do have another 2 very nice troop transports available there. Yeah, we will be moving upon... It depends, really. We'll be moving upon the illusions in the near future. There is a big debate in the moment in the Constantium Order channel as to where his carriers might be. Now, there has been a lot of debate, are they headed for New Zealand, and I'm still very much in the camp of they're still in Pearl Harbor. I definitely think they're still here. Actually, let's take a look at VVP. I should really take into account how much we had before, but I never do count that. Oh yeah. See, the thing is, I'm more interested in the actual oil. If we do need a influx of fuel, I can have an influx of fuel sent to Japan, really. We do have the means to get some fuel back to Japan, but that would be like an emergency situation, and we're not in that position there. Like you see, there's a lot of fuel in like these Chinese cities. Obviously, that's going into China's industry, but it's not a terrible case. We do technically transfer. We aren't able to transfer supply across these bases over here. I do not know whether or not fuel moves across. I don't know whether or not resources move across. But there is a transference between these bases at Fusan, Shishima, and Fukuoka, and the other bases there. But I don't know if fuel moves across there. If it does, it's a very small amount, really. Okay. Yet it would be nice to go into the illusions. We will go for it at some point in the near future. Okay, so the 6th Division is going to begin movement. Now, if I take a look there, I might have the 8th Armoured Car Company move to this position here to actually block the rail line. We will begin to move out some forces, but we'll do it slowly but surely, really. We'll see about that. Now, got there's a 8th Armoured Car Company. So I will... Well, then again, no, I don't control that road, do I? So never mind. I can't do that. Yep, so he controls that road there, so we can't move here. So what I'll look towards doing is having the 8th Armoured Car Company move to this position here, but I might have them move there, potentially, just to block that rail line. I could move into Changsha from that road to actually take control of that hex side. We'll see. We'll attack Nanning, yes, that's correct. It doesn't look as if his forces are marching, at least as far as I can tell they don't look to be marching. So I think we will attack Nanning. We didn't attack Nanning last turn because we didn't have a supply. That and the potential that he may attack us, but it looks like he's remaining in position, so it looks pretty good. Nanning should be down to level 1 fortifications, or at least level 1, level 0, something of that sort of region there. But it shouldn't take us too much to actually destroy it, which is good news. So we'll see there. I'm a little bit worried because that looks to be... I mean, that's more than likely 3 Chinese cores, which would be enough to kick that force out, man. But it is what it is. No, shock attacks are just... Would shock attack if we didn't have that unit there, but even a shock attack, they're okay, but the thing is, it's like, I'm not a massive fan of shock attacks. I'd like them when they're useful, but I don't think they always are useful. It's one of these things, we can take the base by deliberate attack, and by deliberate attack, we're losing less. But they can be useful, I'm not saying that they can't be. I'm just not a massive fan of them, really. Right, so still looking at 30 units over here. Now, what we need to do is really take a tally of the units over here. This is 5 there. So we have about 41 Chinese units, 45 Chinese units. Okay. He definitely has the majority of his Chinese forces here in this area. Now, what I'm going to be looking towards doing then is assembling a second Northern Army. Now, let's see, from Xinjiang they're going to have to march through that wooded area, so what I will do then is actually have them assembled over here at Qingchao. From Qingchao they can march across the clear terrain, and I think we will begin the attack towards Nanyang. This is wooded rough. This is wooded rough. It might, well then again, but the thing is this is a inferior road, so we'd be better off marching up this larger road here, as you can see. Definitely better off marching up here. It's not good, don't get me wrong, it's not a good place to be marching up. But it is, it's better than nothing. It'll take us a fair while to move through here, and it's going to be all wooded rough terrain, which is awful. I think it's ×3, but it's better than nothing, really. Wooded rough is ×3, yeah. Oof. Okay. Right, so we can see that our forces moving down here. The 144th is moving out as well. Oh, it doesn't look like I actually set them to... That's a boo-boo. Yeah, but we have to cross through wooded rough anyway. So it's one of those, you have to take it. But we move significantly faster. We should have a better transference of supply as well along the actual superior road network. It is what it is, really. There's no perfect way to move in that area, China. Okay. So the rest of our forces moving out, which is good news. Where's the 8th? Oh, there we are. Wow. Yeah, and this is the benefit. You can see, for example, that even though this is jungle rough, which is basically the same as wooded rough, you can see that we are moving pretty quickly along here. Yeah, I know, right? Right, no detection over here, which is good news. Right, so it does have sightings over the Kashai. Well, that works for me there. So that is a full 7th JAF. That's good there. Okay, so we're moving towards Canton Island. So it's going to be 2 days before we arrive at Canton Island, then. Yeah, we're going to move aircraft over here to Canton Island once we actually have... oh, sorry, to New Caledonia. I will move aircraft to New Caledonia in the future. I'd need to get some aviation... Sorry, aviation engineers over here. I don't know why I was going to say aviation. Oh, dear. But we do have our forces in place here. So what I'm going to do then... Form new task force. Let's see... do I have anything that's capable... I mean, I do have something that's capable of amphibious operations, of course. Can you run an amphibious operation? I think you're only like a fast transport, to be honest. Jarvis Island? Where are we looking here for Jarvis Island? Oh, Jarvis Island's okay. The thing is, it doesn't have the capability to have a base, unfortunately. I mean, if the American carriers do well, do turn out to be down here in New Zealand, I'd be really interested in potentially striking against Palmyra, or potentially even trying to seize Palmyra. We'll see about that. I don't know, I just don't think the carriers are to the south, to be honest. We'll see anyway. That could have a base. It could have, well, it doesn't have the port, but it could have a air base. But you've got to bear in mind, we won't be taking these bases. We'd rather take these established bases, to be honest. Mostly because it denies it to him, then. Okay. But yeah, at least we are confirming the presence of enemy troops there. Oh dear. Right, 27 there. It's going to take us a good while to arrive over there in Moresby, but that's okay. I do believe that supply is just being transferred to these other bases here. Yeah, Christmas Island is a very nice base, actually. Level 2 port, level 1 airfield. It's an atoll as well, which is very nice. These are both atolls, so we'd obviously have a shock attack there to take them. In all honesty, I'd be very interested in taking Tahiti. It is pretty much the only other base in this region here, in the far South Pacific, that's any use. But I mean, it's one of these things. I don't know if his carriers are south. I just can't see why he'd have them in the south. I just don't think it's a good idea. But we'll see anyway. If they are in the south, you know I'm gonna be bloody happy, you know. Like, bloody happy. But I don't know. Until we have any sort of evidence, it's really just throwing opinions in the air and just seeing which one sticks around longest. Oh dear. Okay. See, I'd like to seize these islands as well, to be honest. But yeah, I would like to seize the Lion Islands from him, potentially. Though they would be pretty much the first to fall due to the fact that they are so very close to Pearl Harbor. I don't anticipate keeping them, but it would be nice to deny them him. It would be nice to potentially ruin them to a degree, really. I mean, they could always be operational as a naval search base, which is pretty much all we'd need them, and all we'd use them for, really. I appreciate the sentiment there, though, but the thing is, it comes with great risk. If we do not know where his carriers are, it's all well and good, but move down to this area, you're moving into this area of the Pacific. You look at the distance there between Palmyra and New Zealand. Sorry, and Hawaii, Pearl Harbor, basically the greatest naval base. Yeah. Well, that's it, isn't it, really? It would be nice. It really would be nice. Even if we don't have the ability to use torpedoes, even having the bombs would be nice there. Well, I mean, in regards to New Zealand, I'm not particularly interested in it, really. There might have been a time, but I don't think that time is now. And the question is, it becomes increasingly difficult in the future, but I'm not particularly interested in New Zealand. It is very far. As far as I'm concerned, we'll see there, really. A Britain that wants to bully defenseless Frenchies and wanted to take their colonies. You know, actually, I was listening to an audiobook, actually, about the French Federal Republic. And it's incredible when it gets to the part where General de Gaulle is actually calling the French government, basically, and saying, like, look, there's a proposal here that's been discussed with Churchill in regards to, like, the unification of France and Britain. And you're like, oh, God, can you imagine, just imagine history had that gone ahead? I mean, good God. I just... It would have been insane. And it sucks when your first clue enemy carries the president. Well, this is it. I mean, that's how we found out about it on Tower, really. Yeah, exactly what could have been. I mean, this is it. I mean, the French government... I suppose in their defense, there definitely was a prevailing view that Britain would not last either. So you can kind of understand it from that point of view. If you think that they're going to be defeated as well, why would you? But then again, I mean, this is it, isn't it? It's like looking back with hindsight. But oh my God, a Franco-British union would have been just amazing. It would have been so cool. It would, just the sheer amount of alternate history, it boggles the mind. Absolutely boggles the mind. It makes you wonder what would Japan have done over here in Indochina. I mean, they can't have. They would not have considered that, surely. In Thailand would have been very much like, well... I mean, Thailand obviously was in the Axis camp. Well, very much in the Japanese sphere of influence, in the Japanese orbit. And it does make you wonder then, obviously, if the Franco-British Union was here, would Thailand be restrained? It is interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, so how much supply we're looking at over here at Changsha? I mean, this is it. I don't know. I don't think it's superpower, but I think very much a regional power, perhaps. But it's one of these, isn't it? It's like the whole decolonization. But I think definitely a regional power. But it is interesting. It's just too much to really discuss there, really. But definitely not a superpower, I don't think. I think this is it. Obviously, the US and Soviet Union did very much eclipse the British Empire. But we could see. I can use the Thai Navy. There is a mod that actually puts the Thai Navy in there, but I don't think it's in the base game as such. I think colonies are very expensive. Okay, looks like the 20th army's arrived. Let's see how these divisions doing. Yeah, you can see they're recovering. They are recovering, which is very good news. We'll have to take a look and really decide which division to take. But what we will be doing then is taking the 6th Division, which is going to be marching immediately. The good news is he's not going to notice the 4th Brigade. So I think we will have a little bit of a debate regarding the 38th Division and its usage. But it is hard to say. I mean, the 38th Division, it could be potentially within... I mean, if we take a look there, so that's 3 hexes. That's 3 hexes. Though it looks like it's going to march to Kukong. It looks like the decisions are going to come from Kukong, really. I'm kind of leaning towards having it sent north, really. I said initially I was going to resist that, but... it is hard, you know. It is very hard. It might be that we have it head towards Hengyang. Oh god, yeah, with good reason, my man. With good reason. The Plantagenets would have came out of their graves there, really. Oh dear. Shot out them. These guys are a real pain in the ass. Okay. But unfortunately, this is where I'm going to have to call it for tonight. I will not be able to stream tomorrow night due to the fact that I'm going to be at college quite late, until at least 8 o'clock. So, I think the best chance is probably a Friday for the next stream, either Friday or Saturday. But yeah, we'll have time to go over this. We usually have the first stream where we're just mostly talking, discussing theory, ideas, and potentials. But yeah, we will have some time to go over the actual turn and really get things hammered out. So, good turn, good turn. A little bit scary with the position of the MKB, but I think I'm still very optimistic. The fact is, we've been able to bomb him a few times now. We do have the G4M1s. We've seen that they've actually been able to hold the Sumatra twice, which is good news. I mean, that's one of the Dutch free light cruisers down, which is fantastic. There's only the De Ruyter and Java, I think, left. How many Chinese in the city south of the big force? I mean, there's 320,000 supposedly at Changsha. 31,900. I think, do you mean this one? This is a single unit, but I think it's a core. Yeah, more than likely a call. So these guys, I mean that's 60 AV, which is pretty damn nice. Ah, there we go, the mixed brigade's actually found these guys, which is fantastic there. So we can hit them again. I might even have the mixed brigade head up and join them too, to be honest. But the good news is with that force destroyed, God damn that amount of garrison duty. Pain in the ass. But I might be able to assemble this into a proper division. But what we will be doing in the next few days, that is, I will be looking at assembling a great force over here at Chengzhou. So if we take a look over here then. Potentially, we'll see. So I'll leave that brigade there at Luoyang. So rebuild this unit. There we go. It's going to take them a little while to arrive down there. So set all to march. 4th Brigade will remain in position, however. Your objective is going to be Nanyang. Well, the thing is, even if we cross over to the actual single core, it's still going to be a shock attack anyway. If it's going to be a shock attack, I'd rather have a... I mean, if we get enough divisions and forces ready, then... The airborne are ready. We could have dropped them at any point in the last few days, really. We just kind of waited for an opportune point, really. But if we take a look at this, I mean, that's 800 there, so about 1200 AV. Near 1300 AV in just those 3 divisions there. We do have some infantry brigades over here, which is fantastic. We do actually have an engineer regiment as well. So yeah, this is a good few hundred additional AV too. It looks like I'll be able to assemble the 6th Knife Division here as well next turn, potentially. Which would be very good news. 58th Division, so Wuchang. So you're over here then. But I'm going to have that moved back up to the actual... Oh yeah, garrison here at the moment. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I could have that. I probably will have that sent back up there to link back up in the near future. Okay. How are we looking over here then? So the Yokosuka and Third SLF still over here then. Still a few hundred of them over here, so it's going to take us a bit longer than I would have hoped for. We have the Naval Guard here in position, which is good news. We're going to have them rest. We'll be able to have them move out in the near future, actually. That's a Yokosuka 2nd SLF, so that's just an actual SLF unit, not a paratrooper unit. 41st Infantry Regiment over here. These tanks over here. I'm going to probably use those tanks in Java, to be honest. How are we doing there at Quantum Venom repairs? Oh yes, nearly completely repaired. Fantastic news. About 3 airfield damage. Did we actually bomb Changsha this turn? I don't think we bombed Changsha this turn. Yeah, it looks like they've repaired that damage as well, so we'll go for an airfield attack then again. He's going to give here. He definitely is going to give in the near future. We're going to look towards actually flanking him to really take that option away from him. Well, the option of just being able to dictate what he does himself. I want him to be reactive, not proactive. I need reconnaissance over this northern area, but we'll see. It is a little bit worrying that whatever was here doesn't seemingly seem to be here, but we'll see. Reconnaissance might pick up in the near future. It does worry me because if it's marching along here, it might be heading to Jikyang. We'll see though. Oh, did we bomb Changsha? Oh, I must have forgot about that then. The bombardment force is over here and actually already at Shanghai, which is fantastic. And they're already rearmed, which is even better. So it looks like I'm about to turn this over significantly quicker than I would have even hoped for. So that's fantastic news. Yep, there we go. So we'll set up another bombardment at Wenkao. He's not going to enjoy that. To be honest, what I should be looking towards doing is just assembling a few patrol boats off the coast there. So I'll take some of these from nearby, I reckon. Right, we do have 2 over here at Shanghai. So what I'll do then is I'll have them just off the coast there of Wenkao. Then at least we might be able to mitigate the threat of submarines then, really. But that's excellent news. It was only 189 casualties, which is not it's not a lot, but the good news is it's just we're going to be able to start hitting his actual troops, which is good. Hitting his troops is fantastic. We've got pretty good detection there. I mean, day in, day out, eventually his forces will give. And that's what's good. That's the good part there. But yes, I'm going to say goodnight here for now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for watching. I do hope you guys have sincerely enjoyed this. And if you have, please do consider becoming a Patreon of mine. It really does make a lovely change. Yeah, I'll give him an ASW mission in the future there, dude. I'm sorry, I'm just really tired at the moment. But I am aware of how it works. But thank you very much for reminding me. I'll get that next time. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. I shall see you in the future. So until next time, Tenno, Heika, Banzai. Have a beautiful evening and an even better day. Goodbye for now, guys. See you in the next blisteringly exciting streams of where we spend 4 hours doing jack all. Goodbye for now.